দর্শক আসসালামু আলাইকুম, সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি আমাদের আজকের বিশেষ লাইভ অনুষ্ঠানে ক্লাইমেট লাইক আকি। 2002 সালে ব্রিটেনে একটি ফিল্ম রিলিজ পায়, গ্লোবাল একটি ফিল্ম রিলিজ পায় এবং সেই ফিল্মটির নাম ছিল ব্যান্ডিট লাইক বেকহাম। এই ফিল্মটিকে বলা হয় যে ব্রিটেনে এশিয়ান কমিউনিটিতে বা ব্ল্যাক এবং এথনিক মাইনরিটি কমিউনিটিতে ফুটবল স্পৃহা বাড়ানোর জন্য যদি কোনো উদ্যোগ থাকে, ব্যান্ডিট লাইক বেকহাম ছিল সেই ধরনের একটি স্পৃহা, একটি প্রেরণা এবং একটি গ্রেট ইনিশিয়েটিভ। 2022 সালে ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি থেকে আকি রহমান, যিনি প্রথম ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি হিসাবে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট ক্লাইম্ব করেছেন, অত্যন্ত সংক্ষিপ্ত সময়ের মধ্যে মাত্র 21 দিনে তিনি এই কাজটি সম্পন্ন করেছেন। আকি রহমান অলসো বিকেম দি ফার্স্ট ব্রিটিশ মুসলিম টু ক্লাইম্ব মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট। দুটি ইতিহাসের অংশ, একজন ব্যক্তি। এবং সেই আকি রহমান আপনারা জানেন যে গত মাসে এই দুরূহ কাজটি তিনি সম্পন্ন করেছেন। সারা ব্রিটিশ মিডিয়াতে, বাংলাদেশি মিডিয়া সহ বাংলাদেশের সকল মিডিয়া কিংবা ব্রিটিশ মেইনস্ট্রিম মিডিয়াতে এই বিষয়টি নিয়ে অনেক আলোচনা হয়। আজকে প্রথমবারের মতো আকি রহমান বিলেতে ফেরত আসার পর প্রথমবারের মতো আমরা তাকে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়েছি। অনেকেই আমাদের সাথে যোগাযোগ করছিলেন যে আকি রহমান আসার পর তার সাথে কথা বলতে চান। আজকে আমরা সেই সুযোগটি করে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করব আপনাদের সবার সামনে আকি রহমানকে প্রেজেন্ট করে। এবং স্টুডিওতে থাকবেন আমাদের কয়েকজন সিলেক্টেড অতিথি যারা এই পুরো জার্নিতে, আকি রহমানের পুরো জার্নিটি তারা প্রত্যক্ষ করেছেন, অনেকেই সহযোগিতা করেছেন। সাথে থাকবেন বিশেষ অতিথি স্টেজে। আমি প্রথমেই স্টুডিওতে রি-ইন্ট্রোডিউস করে দিতে চাই আকি রহমান। ওয়েলকাম টু দি শো।
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for having me again. It's a pleasure to be back in one piece, full fingers. So alhamdulillah, it's been an amazing journey, and I had a good time.
You had a good time?
I didn't have a good time. I had a good time. Mixed emotions. I mean, I can't explain the emotions that I went through.
আমরা আরও জানবো আপনার কাছ থেকে। এবং আমাদের সাথে আরেকজন অতিথি আছেন যিনি এই জার্নির একেবারে শুরু থেকে, আমরা যখন পিক হিউম্যানিটি আকি রহমানের যে ক্যাম্পেইনটি আমরা শুরু করেছিলাম গত ফেব্রুয়ারি মাস থেকে, তখন থেকেই তিনি আমাদের সাথে ছিলেন। এবং আরএফসির অ্যাম্বাসেডর, একজন বিজনেসম্যান জনাব সাদেক আলী শিপু, আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য।
ধন্যবাদ আমাকে এখানে আমন্ত্রণ জানানোর জন্য।
এবং দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আমাদের সামনে কয়েকজন সিলেক্টেড অতিথি আছেন। আপনারা সবাই এরা কমিউনিটির পরিচিত মুখ, আপনারা সবাই তাদেরকে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন। আমরা প্রত্যেকের সাথে কথা বলার চেষ্টা করব এবং জানার চেষ্টা করব আকি রহমানের এই অর্জনে তাদের প্রতিক্রিয়া। নাও আকি রহমানের সাথে কথা বলার আগে আমরা আকি রহমানের এই যে জার্নি, এই জার্নির উপর ভিত্তি করে খুবই ছোট্ট একটি ডকুমেন্টারি আছে, সেই ডকুমেন্টারিটি দেখব। এই ডকুমেন্টারিটির মাধ্যমে আসলে আকি রহমানের যে জার্নির জাস্ট কয়েক মিনিট আমরা তুলে ধরেছি। পুরো জার্নিটি আমরা ভবিষ্যতে চ্যানেলে ডকুমেন্টারির মাধ্যমে, পুরো ডকুমেন্টারির মাধ্যমে আমরা দেখাবো। তবে এখন এই অনুষ্ঠানে চলুন দেখে আসি সেই ছোট্ট ভিডিওটি।
My guide thinks because I'm fasting and I'm not eating or drinking, it's a good idea for me to stay here for a night. This will make climbing Mount Everest a little bit easier. I'm going back down now to base camp. This is day 13, ready for my first rotation of acclimatized well, alhamdulillah. I want to thank all my sponsors. Stu, Noble coming down. We're in the middle of the icefall, and I don't remember this. Sort of going down sideways. Oh, this is the last of it.
ছোট্ট একটি ভিডিওর মাধ্যমে বিশাল একটি জার্নি আমরা তুলে ধরার চেষ্টা করেছি। নাও আকি রহমান, coming back to you, why this idea of climbing Mount Everest? There are thousands and millions of other ideas to achieve and conquer and doing. Why Mount Everest?
I wanted to do something different to inspire my children. That's where it all began. And if I did stuff that everyone else does, then I'd just be like everyone else. I want to be different, and I want to inspire people in a different way. And what I do is totally different. But the thing is, once you do get into it, not only is it beneficial for your health, it's also mental stimulation. And, going to the mountains, I have learnt a lot. It's made me a lot more humble, alhamdulillah. But also, it's made me appreciate little things. Food, for example. It's difficult to get food over there. And, for me, when I'm back home, I really pig out and I have burgers. I mean, you might think that I'm quite fit and healthy, which, alhamdulillah, I am. But, athletes, I've got two brothers that you guys know very well that we can't diet and train at the same time. We need to eat whilst we train. So I eat whatever I want. Obviously, there's a limit as to where I go. So these kind of things, you can't get on the mountains.
So you wanted to be different?
Yeah, I wanted to be different, and I wanted to inspire people in a different way. And I wanted to leave a legacy for my children, and I wanted them to be proud. And I just, I think that going on from this is ballooned up into a massive thing. And now my aim is to inspire everyone I can.
So when you first initiated the idea of climb Mount Everest, of course you discussed this with your family, your friends and other people around you, and what was their reaction?
Well, I think they were expecting it because
They were expecting you to go to Mount Everest?
Yeah, I climbed a few of the mountains.
Okay.
So naturally, one day they knew that this would come along, but I don't think they expected it this quick. So the initial reaction from them was like...
So who did you share the idea? Who was the first person that you shared the idea?
First person, I probably shared it with my wife, who was the wrong person to share it with. But ideally, I think one of my nephews is called Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
He works with me, and I shared the idea with him, and straight away he said, "I'm out. I support you on every single other mountain, but not this one." So he sort of took a back seat, and he did support me in other ways.
Yeah.
But he was not proactively supporting me, and he wasn't showing me.
And why was this? Why was it?
Because it's really
Risky?
dangerous. It's really risky.
So he didn't want to take any risk of any bad news.
Any bad news? My brother Sylheti, who's my business partner, and all my little brothers. You've met them, Ziggy, Shafi, and all them. At first they were really apprehensive and they were back like, no way. Mm-hmm. And my nephew summed it up in a nice way, which made me stop asking him, for things. He just said to me, "Listen, it's a really risky mountain. I supported you on every other mountain. I knew the risks and they were low, but this is too high. And if I become a part of this, if something happens to you, what will I say to your family? What will I say to your kids who are my, brothers and sisters?" So I respected that, and I just said, "You know what, that's fine." But obviously, as it went along, people knew I'm a mountaineer, and when the mountains call, I have to answer. That's my motto, and I just think that eventually people knew that I was going to do it irrespective of what they thought. So rather than let me go, headless chicken in a headless chicken way, they thought, "You know what? Let's get together." This was their plan. Mm-hmm. I know their plan. Let's get together. Let's try and persuade him not to go. But even if he goes, let's try and advise him the best way so that he's safe. So, I appreciate that, and I understand where they're coming from. But they have to understand as well. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I believe that I eliminate as much risk as possible when I'm going to the mountains. However, if something was to happen, I have a lot of faith in Allah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe that if something was to happen, that it was meant to be. I mean, I could be on the motorway driving down. I've been down to London about 20 times since we started this.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. you know, so we eliminate risks on the mountain, we eliminate risk when we're driving. So it's the same process, but obviously it's just a little bit more risky, a little bit more.
Little bit more
Yeah.
risky. It's like a little bit. How risky was it in terms of? Obviously, none of us went there, and we can just assume that it's risky. আমরা সবাই বুঝি এটা risky. So in terms of risky, tell us our audience the risky কিরকম?
Well, the thing is, Mount Everest at base camp, which is 5,500, people trek to base camp and it's the trek of their lifetime.
Yeah.
But we start our climb from base camp. At base camp, the oxygen level in the air, or the concentration, should I say, is 50%. As you go higher,
It goes down.
decreases. And there's a thing called the death zone, which is 8,000 meters and above. There is 29%. It's not enough to sustain human life. So when you're there, you're basically dying and you've got a limited amount of time to get to the top and come back.
And this is when you use your oxygen mask.
This is when
and
we
the-
use our oxygens. Well, we carry oxygen tanks. We use them, and this prolongs the slow deterioration, if you want to call it that.
Right. Okay. Now, Shibu bhai, আপনি তো দেখছেন full journey আপনি দেখছেন beginning to end পর্যন্ত. And I remember when we met about this, you were not actually interested about all the climbing and everything. You just wanted to part of it. And then when you went in Oldham, then we saw that you became more inspired and connected, and you actually increased your pledge.
Yes.
So tell us more about it.
Farhan bhai, obviously it was a great journey, no doubt. At the beginning I was a bit reluctant, which was, you are quite correct. যখন আমার বন্ধু বান্ধব লগে মাথা আসলাম যে why I'm raising him, who is it for, story শুনে অনেকে কইছেন ই কোন পাগল বা। তো you know, I was a bit disappointed, হই হাসু মনে হয় আকি আসলে পারবো কিনা না। But when I met him in Manchester, I don't know why, you know, I just got inspired by him. And I had that belief in me that Aki Rahman will achieve it. And this is the why actually I came back, I was speaking to my friends and family. I said, look, the brothers is actually doing something exceptional and unprecedented. Amra thandre help korou lagbo. Oneka koisun to listen, even the 30% people don't even come back. You know, it's not risky. It's like
Deadly.
deadly. It's like he might not come back. And I met your families and everything. I mean, you know, on the way back to London, I'm in the Dobir Sasa was with me. Dobir Sasa amar koida farbo beta. Tui sinta koris na. Tui matis na beshi. You know, and you know how Dobir Sasa is, and you know, and through that, slowly people started believing me. You see. And because it's a very unique and something so different, Manchore একটা beginning একটা বুঝাইল গেছে না এবং খেউরে কইলে কেউ বিশ্বাসও করে না কি গুই গুজাইব খানা খানা you know ও attitude আসিল Manchore but brother he proved us wrong হইলো he proved us wrong he done it and সবচেয়ে good news হইলো যে normally about 44 days লাগে mountain isn't this একজন climber লাগে but he done it in a half time.
Yeah.
You see, and also Ramadan time. এই রামাদানের মাঝে এই ভাইয়ের একটা অ্যাচিভ করছেন আমরা দোয়া করছি রে ভাই আমরা তো I had the opportunity to speak to him maybe on the Eid day or something. He called me. I missed his call, but then we were texting each other. I'm going to he was so emotional. You know, I'm alone here. I'm going to look. You are not alone. We are all with you. Inshallah, রে ভাই তুমি গুয়ে চিপ করবা দোয়া আছে হাজার মানুষ তোমার লাগি দোয়া করবা and here and we are so you know happy that you know collectively we done it, we achieved it, and inshallah we do it again. We'll do it again, no doubt.
So now going back to our audience, আমরা লোকে community base কয়েকজন distinguished guest হল আছেন, and there are hundreds of guests, hundreds of audience, hundreds of thousands of audience actually যারা donate করছেন, contribute করছেন. Unfortunately সবরে আমরা accommodate করতে পারছি না, বাট আমরা কমিটির কয়েকজন ইনভাইট করছি বিগিনিং এই ক্যাম্পেইনের বিগিনিং থেকে BBCA ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশ কেটারার্স অ্যাসোসিয়েশন তারা আমরা লগে আসলাম, they helped us raising funds, raising awareness, and of course যতলা খান সম্ভব তারার মেম্বার অকলরে কিংবা তারার ওয়েল উইশার অকলরে হেল্প ক্যাম্পেইন করার লাগে ক্যাম্পেইন করছেন এই পিক হিউম্যানিটি এবং আরএফসি লাগে আমরা আমরা আমাদের সাথে আছেন জনাব তফজ্জুল মিয়া সেক্রেটারি অফ ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশ ক্রিয়েটর্স অ্যাসোসিয়েশন তফজ্জুল ভাই not a question actually it's your chance to ask question and of course at the same time you knew it that this was going to come. Tell me honestly, as an individual, obviously I'm not talking about from your organization point of view, obviously you supported us, your organization supported us, but did you believe the concept?
Well, yes and no. Thank you for having me, by the way. Look, firstly, I would like to congratulate Akke for his extraordinary achievement. So I think he deserves another round of applause. Come on, guys. Did I believe it? Yes and no, really, because A, no British Bengalis done it. B, no British Muslim have done it. C, the most important factor we are missing is someone fasting and trying to achieve that, you know. Except, oh, amar bhai khoya gesun jen. Ashole tumi ekhla asla na. আমরা millions and millions of মানুষের দোয়া তোমার লগে আছিল but you were the man with the determination and you've done it. I have millions of questions but I'll just ask one or two.
Yeah.
Firstly, I would like to ask you, Akke bhai, you know, climbing Mount Everest is such a huge task and doing it while you're fasting. And it's a simple question. I'm sure there were many, but what was the one biggest challenge and obstacles you faced? So that our audience, if you can share it with us and the audience, please.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced?
I want to be completely honest with you. Climbing Mount Everest in the way I did it, it was hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And going off the subject a little bit, du'as are very powerful. I understood, and I agree with Baisab and everyone else, that everyone was with me. I didn't understand the concept, but Allah has shown me the way, and du'as are very powerful, and du'as got me through. The hardest challenge for me, I would say, was the mental challenge of being away from everybody. 2 days before Eid, I come down off my first rotation, where I fell into a crevasse. I was on a safety line, so I was always, you know, sort of safe. But I'll go into that a little bit later on. So that was dawning on my mind when I got back to base camp, and I know that there's 2 days left before Eid, and everything sort of got to me. And mentally, I mean, physically I was okay, I think, alhamdulillah. But like, even though it was hard, I was okay. But the mental side of things was very difficult. I was in my tent for 2 days. I was almost in a state of depression. I didn't get out because I was missing my family so much, and maybe this incident also dawned on my mind, and everything just packed up and really pushed me down. And at one point, I was doing the calculations. I was thinking to myself, you know, there's 2 days left for Ramadan, and then Eid on the third day. If I go to Kathmandu today, I can get to England and be with my family possibly on Eid day. That thought went to my head. I know for a fact in the back of my mind it's not going to happen, but it did cross my mind. So, honestly speaking, the mental side of things was very hard. You have to have a sharp and a determined mind to do or climb Mount Everest.
Definitely, couldn't disagree with you,
being
really.
a family man, yes.
Yeah.
Well done again. You raised thousands of pounds for great causes, and more importantly, I think you've become you say you wanted to leave a legacy for your children. I'm sorry to say you are still young. And I think you have you are going to aspire millions of young people around the globe, and especially the young Bengali Muslim community, non-Bengalis as well as non-Muslim as well. But the fact that you've done it in the Ramadan, all the Muslim people were watching you, praying you. So congratulations. Brilliant job, my dear brother.
Thank you, Tafatullah. So you just said there was a point you were really probably frustrated, and there were incidents where we couldn't communicate with you for days, and we were worried because there is no other way to communicate you except for the satellite phone that you had in your hand. Tell us those days when you couldn't communicate with anyone. Forget about us or Channel S. I mean, you couldn't communicate with your family.
Yeah.
And your family couldn't communicate with you there because there is no other medium to communicate. How was those days?
Well, those days, in base camp, we have Wi-Fi. As you know, it's very limited. And there's certain times the generator shuts off and then you can't use Wi-Fi. The only person, I mean, I tried to text you, I tried to text my brothers, I tried to text everyone, but the only person that received my text, and I couldn't receive text from anyone, full stop, but the only one person that received was my wife. Wow. So every time, there was 2 occasions. I did my, even though I'm supposed to have 2 rotations, I did it in 1 rotation. So twice I was away, so 1 rotation and the summit push. Every time I'd go away, I would text my wife and I would tell her, listen, I'm going away, I've got a satellite phone with me. If anything happens or anything goes wrong, you'll get a call from the satellite phone. Other than that, I'll be away for 5 days. That's all I said. And anyone else everyone else that I could tell, I told. And then she would have told my brothers and who would have passed it on to you and everyone else. But those days, I mean, I didn't have a lot to think about because I was climbing and, it was damn hard, like climbing. And when you get to the tent, you sort of think, and then you think, should I just get my satellite phone out? But then I'm thinking, $5 a minute? Nah. But yeah.
The most expensive part of the world, where you get £5 for a minute, you said?
Yeah.
$5 a minute.
$5 a minute, yeah. On the satellite phone. So I just thought, they know where I am, and I told them I'm going to be 5 days, and if anything happens, the expedition company will let them know.
But yeah, let me tell you the truth. We were worried like hell. Everyone was worried. But the good thing, everyone knew that if it is someone who could actually achieve it, it was you. And everyone was fully aware that, your determination as well as your commitment and the support from your family will take you there. Now, tell us, Tofajjul bhai ekta question korcho, and you answered that. The challenging part. I think challenging part also comes with some emotion, right? And you have mentioned about your family, the Eid, Ramadan, and you started calculating it. So lowest part kunta asil? Yes, that's it. We had enough, and I should rethink what I'm doing. Is there any time that you thought something like this, that, okay, we had enough?
No. I never thought that. I never thought that. I was determined. I had confidence in my ability. I knew. But obviously sometimes, certain things happen, like that fall and missing the family. That's the only point where I thought, that was the only time I can remember I thought about going back. But I wasn't even thinking about going. I was just playing with my mind, just thinking I'll get there before Eid or before the end of the day on Eid. But I was never, ever going to, pack it in. Never. I was determined. What pushed me even more is the people that I'm going to be helping. Because I'm there for a reason and I'm there to help people. You must have, the desire to climb, But I was there, to support people, and even my guides were saying, look, Akke, you're a great man. You've come here. We'll keep you safe. You'll see your family, and your cause is brilliant. And don't be worried. We're here for you as well. So they gave me a lot of emotional support. That's not their job, but you can see how nice they are. So yeah, I think that was the only point where I thought I'll pack it in, and it wasn't even a thought. It was just something that played on my mind.
I will come to you, because there are lots of other questions. There are some funny questions as well. What do you eat there, and how do you do your daily essentials? And for example, the people you meet, how do they behave, and etc. Because everyone is stressed. আর হিনো মাঝে যারা মানুষ সকল জানেন কোন কোন কান্ট্রি থেকে যান, সো দেয়ার আর লটস অফ কোয়েশ্চেন্স। আই উইল কাম টু দোজ কোয়েশ্চেন্স টু ইউ শর্টলি। বাট আমাদের কাছে আরও কয়েকজন অতিথি আছেন আমাদের এখানে। শরীফ ইসলাম, যিনি আজকের অনুষ্ঠানে আসতে পারেননি, জুমের মাধ্যমে তিনি আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করছেন, তার কাছে যাব। তবে তার আগে স্টুডিওতে আছে মুহি মিকদাদ। লন্ডন স্পোর্টিভ থেকে তিনি এসছেন, এবং মুহি মিকদাদ এবং তার লন্ডন স্পোর্টিভ ডিড ফিনোমেনাল জব, বিকজ তারা সবাই মিলে স্পোর্টস অ্যাক্টিভিটি, কমিউনিটি অ্যাক্টিভিটি এবং তাদের গ্রুপের সব সদস্যরা তৎপর থাকার কারণে they have raised more than 5,200 pounds, and they deserve a big round of applause for that. And this is another proof that আমাদের যারা young population আছে ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটিতে, when they're together, what they can actually achieve. They didn't know Akke Rahman before. They didn't know, আমাদের চ্যানেলের অনেকের সাথেই তাদের কোনো পরিচয় ছিল না, but these cause, the RFC cause এবং Peak Humanity cause brought us all together. And এই জন্য লন্ডন স্পোর্টিভ এবং তার সদস্যরা অনেক কষ্ট করেছেন, এই জন্য আমরা আন্তরিকভাবে কৃতজ্ঞ। মুহি, your question to Akke Rahman, and before that, what do you want to say to Akke Rahman after his successful completion?
Thank you, Farhan Bhai. Thank you, Channel S, for inviting me today. And first of all, congratulations to Akke Rahman, first British Bangladeshi Muslim to climb Mountain Everest. First of all, আমি আগে Akke Rahman কোনো সময় দেখছি না, জানছি না। He visited my school just before went to Nepal, so that's the first time I met him. And after that, then he's climbing Everest, and also he's gonna raise money for RFC. RFC is excellent cause in our community, as everyone's know. It's run by Channel S, who supported 26 charity. So Akke bhai, apnar congratulations, apne first British Bangladeshi Muslim Mountain Everest claim person. Also RFC lagi আমরা সারা কমিউনিটির এখানে হইরা ফান্ড রাইজ করছেন। আমার দুইটা কোয়েশ্চন আপনার কাছে। You raise fund for many other charity. This is the first time you raise fund for RFC. How was the journey, and how was the support the whole community gave you? How was it like to you? And also, we know that you climb Everest while you was fasting, so that means you celebrate Eid in the mountain. How was your Eid on the mountain? What did you do?
Okay, first question, how was it? The support was overwhelming. The messages and everything that came in from everywhere, it was just overwhelming, and I felt touched by it. The fact that people would support me. I mean, nobody knows me. I mean, like when we did the launch, you were there, Muhi bhai. When we did the launch, a chap comes up to me, in his middle, probably in his 50s, and he said to me, "Bro, you don't know me. I don't know you. But I was in Umrah, and I did an Umrah for you. It's amazing what you're doing, and I really want you to succeed." And I almost broke down there and then. You know what I mean? I had to take a picture with him and just so I know his face, and in the future I can find out who he is. So the journey was really good, and it was exciting as well. And I really enjoyed it, because I know that I'm helping 26 different charities who are going to distribute the money another however many ways. And the scope for duas getting accepted, and my, sacrifice and what I did getting accepted is more greater. So that's the rewarding thing about it. So your second question.
Celebrating Eid in the mountain.
Oh yeah, celebrating Eid on the mountain.
One of the best Eid.
It was different. It was different. I mean, in one way it was good. I was in my tent all day. I wasn't really doing anything. But I think I actually celebrated on the wrong day, because Nepal and Bangladesh
Same day.
are the same, aren't they?
Yeah. So you celebrated one day.
So I'm supposed to celebrate a day later, but I celebrated the day you guys celebrated it.
Yeah, I mean.
So, yeah.
So basically, you had 2 days of Eid.
I had 2 days of Eid, yeah. They just made some food and made an extra effort on the curries that they make. We had, I was lucky enough to get halal meat there. So every so often, every day there's deliveries, to expedition companies on helicopters, and they'd send me some halal meat and some stuff that I could eat. So in base camp, it was very comfortable, and, some of the huts that I stayed in on the way to base camp weren't as good as my tent in base camp,
Wow.
Thank you, Mohit.
Excellent, Akke bhai, and well done. Thank you to Channel S for supporting Akke Rahman. Also, I would like to thanks all my club directors, all my club players, members. We have about 300 members who supported your cause. We raised about over 6.5K for your cause. And also thank you to Mr. Ashid Ali, who's principal of LEA. He's joined with us as well. Because of him, I met you, and also he inspired us. We raised a lot of fund in our school as well. So well done, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. আমরা একটা বিরতিতে যাব। বিরতিতে যাওয়ার আগে আমরা দেখে নেব যে আমরা আমাদের জুমে কোনো গেস্ট আছেন কিনা, এবং মুরাদ চৌধুরী ইজ ফ্রম ওল্ডাম। মুরাদ চৌধুরীর মেয়ে সোহাইলিয়া চৌধুরী, she was like an angel. She was campaigning for Akke Rahman for Peak Humanity, and she was raising funds, and I think she raised more than 1,000 pounds. Murad Chaudhary, welcome to the show. Oh, she's here, Sohaila. I can see Sohaila. Sohaila, good to talk to. Good to see you again. Sohaila, how are you? Walaikum salam.
I'm good. How are you?
We are all fine. We are all fine. So, tell us more about your campaign, Sohaila. What did you do to raise funds?
At my taekwondo,
Yep.
we did 1,000 kicks,
Okay.
and we posted it online, and the link was with it, and people could donate. And I also did 1,000 kicks whilst fasting.
Wow. Okay. So massive congratulations to you. You were a true inspiration to all of us. Murad bhai, apnareও congratulations, because you inspired her. You gave her the true and honest support every day. এবং আমরা চ্যানেলে সেটি দেখিয়েছি যে কিভাবে সোহাইলিয়া তায়কোন্ডো কিকিং এর মাধ্যমে ফান্ড রেজ করেছে। তার উপর প্রত্যেক দিন এক একটি চ্যালেঞ্জ ছিল যে সে কিক করবে, এবং কিক করার সাথে সাথে ফান্ড রেজও করবে। তো শুধুমাত্র ফান্ড রেজ, সে তার যে কিকের যে চ্যালেঞ্জ ছিল সেটি অনেক বেশি সে কিক করেছে। নট অনলি she is a young little sportswoman, but at the same time she also raised fund for these good causes. And Murad bhai, আপনি আমরা রাখোকা যে সময় আপনি সোহাইলিয়ার লগে তাই লগে ডিসকাস করছেন যে this is what's going to happen, Akke Rahman is going to Mount Everest, how was her reaction? What did she say?
আসলে আমি আকি রহমানকে চিনি অনেক দিন থেকে। আকি যখন স্কুল ছাড়ে তখন থেকে আমি আকিকে চিনি। আর সোহাইলা আসলে চিন্তা করে নাই যে এরকম একটা করবে। যখন আখির ইভেন্টে যায় তখন ও বলছিল যে সবাই যখন কন্ট্রিবিউট করতেছে তো আমি কিভাবে কন্ট্রিবিউট করতে পারি। তো সেখান থেকে আমি বললাম যে তুমি ফান্ড রেজ করতে পারো। তো বলতেছে আমি কিভাবে ফান্ড রেজ করব। তো আমি বললাম তোমার টাইকোন্ডোর যে ক্লাব আছে তাদের সাথে একসাথে হয়ে তুমি ফান্ড রেজ করতে পারবা। তো তখন আমরা বাসায় চলে আসলাম, সবকিছু তো রেডি, আপনারাও দিলেন। আমি এখন চিন্তা করতেছি মাথা তো আমার শেষ, হেডেক তো আমার, কি করব। তো তখন সে বলল যে বাবা আমরা কিক করি, আমি কিক করব, আর সেখানে আমি রোজাও রাখবো। শি ইজ অনলি 9 years old। তো রোজা রাখাটা শুরু করছে। তো তখন স্কুলের হলিডে ছিল, তো হলিডে সময়টা ও কিকগুলো বেশি করেছে। আর যখন স্কুল শুরু হয় তখন শুধু উইকেন্ডে ও কিক করতে পারতো। কিন্তু ঝামেলা হচ্ছে কিকগুলা শুধু ও একা করেনি, আমি কিকগুলা বেশি নিতে হয়েছে, কারণ আমি ওর প্যাডটা ধরেছিলাম। কষ্ট কিন্তু আমারও অনেক হয়েছে। কিন্তু সবচেয়ে মজার ব্যাপার, আর যেটা আই এম রিয়েলি প্রাউড অফ বোথ অফ দেম, আকি এন্ড সোহাইলা, যখন তার টাইকোন্ডোর সাথে ও যায়, আমরা 700 এর মতো টাইকোন্ডো ক্লাবে একসাথে করেছি। হ্যাঁ, তো আমি বললাম যে সোহেলা তোমার কিন্তু হয়ে গেছে, 1000-এর উপরে হয়ে গেছে। ও বলল না, আমি আমার নিজের 1000টা করতে চাই, সবার সাথে না। তো she was determined that she wants to do the 1000 kicks by herself. আর এখান থেকে আমি সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই যারা যারা এই আখির জন্য এই হেল্প করেছেন, বা সোহাইলারকে ইন্সপায়ার করেছেন, আখিকে ইন্সপায়ার করেছেন। আসলে ফান্ড রেজটা কিন্তু ওদের জন্য না, ফান্ডরেজটা সবাই সবার থেকে সাহায্য করেছেন যারা এই ফান্ডটা দরকার তাদেরকে।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
সোহাইলা বলেন বা আখি বলেন, ওরা শুধু আমরা যা করেছি ইন্সপায়ার করেছি ওদেরকে, ওদের গোলটা অ্যাচিভ করে। আর I think that was the main reason.
Main reason. Thank you so much, Murad bhai. And Sohaila Chaudhary, Sohaila, once again, thank you so much. We are so grateful to you. And of course, this is a journey, and you will be remembered for your great effort in this campaign. Do you want to ask any question to Akke Rahman? Sohaila?
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Did you have any like doubts that you were gonna fall?
Were you scared that you're going to fall?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't have any doubts that I was going to fall or anything, and I wasn't scared. However, I did fall a little bit.
He was not scared, but there was an incident. But you are also a true inspiration, Sohaila, and we are so inspired to see you again. Thank you so much, both of you, Murad bhai and Sohaila, for joining us in this program. আমরা যাব আমাদের পরবর্তী অতিথির কাছে, আলিয়া আলী বেগ। তিনিও ওল্ডহাম থেকে জয়েন করেছেন। আলিয়া আলী বেগ তিনিও ফান্ডরাইজ করেছেন আমাদের পিক হিউম্যানিটি ক্যাম্পেইনের জন্য, আকি রহমানের মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট ক্যাম্পেইনের জন্য। আলিয়া, Akke Rahman is here in the studio, so the floor is yours. You can ask any question to Akke Rahman.
Assalamu alaikum, Farhan bhai. Once again, thank you for having me on the show. Assalamu alaikum, Akke, Murad bhai, my local brothers, and all the Channel S audience in the studio who have not seen face to face. Assalamu alaikum to you all. Akke, I don't really have a question as such because I think you've answered quite a bit. I mean, one thing that what I was thinking about is 3 Snickers bar. You know, how did you manage? How did you do it? So that's what that's my question to you. But most of all, we're absolutely proud of you from Greater Manchester here. I mean, I went to the launch. I mean, I've been following you for some time now, as you know. From the time I started hiking and climbing, only the UK mountains so far. So I've been following you for some time, and obviously when I went to the launch, I was truly inspired by what your initiative, and I really wanted to support you. So I just really, really want to congratulate you for doing what you did, for achieving it. Were there any time at all where you doubted yourself, anything like that? But the other thing, what really inspired me is the fact that you had that mindset to actually go out and achieve what you wanted to achieve. So whether before you even climbed Mount Everest, one quote that springs to my mind, I can't remember who quoted it, but one quote that springs to my mind is that the hardest mountain to climb is the one within. So where you have already set your mindset that you want to do the Everest, to me, you had already done it then. And therefore, you inspired me. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to get on board. I'm going to support this guy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alia Ali. So that was a brilliant feedback. And of course, the sneaker bar question. How did you survive on 3 sneakers?
Mind-boggling to me. Look, I was supposed to take some pot noodles, right? And my nephew's here, and a lot of you probably know me, and you obviously know me. I'm quite relaxed.
Yeah.
Last minute rushing, and I forgot the Snickers bars completely. I got to Camp 3 on my summit push. They gave me some not pot noodles, but noodles from Nepal, and I opened the bag after they put the boiled water in. I just took one whiff, and I thought, I'm not going to have this anymore. And the guy said to me, you need to have it. Don't say no. Have some and, get some energy. So I took a bite and I thought, no, this is not going to happen. I took another bite and I was almost sick. And then that's when I decided, if I have this, it's going to make my situation worse than what I am now. So I dug into my bag and I saw I had like a pack of, one of the multi-pack Snickers bars.
Yeah.
And they're not the full-size Snickers bars, by the way. It's the smaller ones. So I knew I had 3 days to go, and I had enough Snickers bars to have. But the problem is, I didn't have them all because these Snickers bars in the daytime they're melting, yeah.
Yeah.
And in the night time they're
frozen.
freezing again.
Yeah.
So this happened. I was there for what 21, maybe on that second rotation I was there for about 15 days. Yeah. So you can imagine how many times they've frozen and defrosted. So they didn't taste right, and especially at high altitude, it just doesn't like they're flat, and So look, I had to make do. I had to improvise and make do with what I had, and 2 was enough for me per day with some water.
থ্যাংক ইউ আকির রহমান, অ্যামেজিং জার্নি। আমরা আরও শুনবো আকির রহমানের কাছ থেকে, এবং আমাদের আরও অনেক অতিথি আছেন, তাদের কোয়েশ্চেন আছে, সেই কোয়েশ্চেনগুলো নিয়ে আমরা আকির রহমানের সাথে কথা বলবো। তবে তার আগে যাবো ছোট্ট একটি বিরতিতে, সঙ্গেই থাকুন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম দর্শক, বিরতির পর সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি আমাদের আজকের বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানে ক্লাইমেট লাইক আকি। আমরা হাইকিং কিংবা ওয়াকিং, সাইক্লিং এই বিষয়গুলোর সাথে, এবং গত কয়েক বছর ধরে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে প্রচুর পরিমাণে ক্লাইম্বিং আমাদের ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি অংশগ্রহণ করছেন, এবং অনেক ক্ষেত্রে বিভিন্ন ধরনের চ্যারিটেবল অ্যাক্টিভিটিকে ইন্সপায়ার করার জন্য এই ধরনের ক্লাইম্বিংগুলি করে থাকেন। তবে কেউই এর আগে এ ধরনের কোনো সাহস কারো কাছ থেকে বা উদ্যোগ, আসলে সাহস না বলে উদ্যোগ বলা উচিত, যে উদ্যোগ আসেনি যে কেউ একজন মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট ক্লাইম্ব করবেন। কারণ অনেকেই এই সম্পর্কে অবগত নন। অনেকের হয়তো ইচ্ছা আছে যে জানেন না যে আসলে কীভাবে করতে হয়, আবার অনেকের ইচ্ছা আছে জানেন হয়তো কীভাবে করতে হয়, কিন্তু সাপোর্ট পাওয়া যায় না। সাপোর্ট, ফ্যামিলি থেকে সাপোর্ট, কমিউনিটি থেকে সাপোর্ট, কিংবা যেই কাজের জন্য তারা যাচ্ছেন সেই কাজকে ঘিরে আমাদের সবার যে সাপোর্ট বা সমর্থন প্রয়োজন সেটি পাওয়া যায় না। একজন মানুষের যখন নিজের আত্মবিশ্বাস তুঙ্গে থাকার পরও যখন সাপোর্টিং এলিমেন্টের কারণে বা সাপোর্টিং নেটওয়ার্কের কারণে যখন একটি স্বপ্ন আর স্বপ্নেই থেকে যায়, বাস্তবে আর রূপান্তরিত হয় না, এর থেকে দুঃখের আসলে আর খুব কম বিষয়ই আছে। যে একজনের, আমরা জানি যে একজনের স্পৃহা আছে, আমরা জানি যে একজনের দক্ষতা আছে, আমরা জানি যে একজনের সেই ক্ষমতা আছে একটি চ্যালেঞ্জকে মোকাবেলা করার, একটি চ্যালেঞ্জকে চ্যালেঞ্জে জয়ী হওয়ার। কিন্তু দেখা যায় যে আমরা যারা তাকে সমর্থন দেওয়ার প্রয়োজন, সেই সমর্থন তো তাকে দিচ্ছি না বা দেয়া হয় না, উল্টো তাকে ডিসকারেজ করা হয়, তাকে উৎসাহিত করার বিপরীতে তাকে নিরুৎসাহিত করা হয়, এবং এই নিরুৎসাহিত করার ধারাটা বিদ্যমান থাকার কারণে আমরা অনেক প্রথম থেকে বঞ্চিত হই। কিন্তু আকির রহমানের ক্ষেত্রে ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি সেই ভুলটি করেনি, বা আমরা কেউই আকির রহমানের যে বিজয়, আকির রহমান যে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট ক্লাইম্ব করেছেন, এই পুরো ইতিহাসের সাক্ষী হচ্ছে ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি। কারণ আমরা সবাই তাকে সমর্থন করার চেষ্টা করেছি। তিনি যে মহৎ উদ্দেশ্যে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট ক্লাইম্ব করছিলেন আরএফসির জন্য, সেই আরএফসিতে আপনারা সবাই হাজার হাজার ডোনার পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন প্রান্ত থেকে ডোনেট করেছেন, এবং এর কারণে হয়তো এই বিশাল একটি ইনিশিয়েটিভের কারণে এবং আমাদের সবার ছোট্ট প্রয়াসের কারণে হয়তো পৃথিবীর কোথাও না কেউ হয়তো বেঁচে যাবে, পৃথিবীর কোথাও না কেউ হয়তো মুখে খাবার পাবে, পৃথিবীর কোথাও না কেউ হয়তো অসুস্থ অবস্থায় আছে, হয়তো একটু সুস্থতা পাবেন। আর এই পুরো ইনিশিয়েটিভের সবচেয়ে বড় সার্থকতা যেটা আকির রহমান বলেছেন, যে তিনি একটি কজের জন্য মাউন্ট এভারেস্টে ক্লাইম্ব করেছেন, এবং সেই কজটি হচ্ছে হিউম্যানিটি। পিক হিউম্যানিটি ছিল সেই উদ্দেশ্যে, অ্যান্ড আকির রহমান সেই পিক হিউম্যানিটির সবচেয়ে বড় মুকুট, এবং আমরা সবাই তার সাক্ষী। আমি আবার আকির রহমানের কাছে আসব, তবে তার আগে আজ থেকে প্রায় 2 বছর আগে, আসলে 2020-এর রোজার পরে আই থিঙ্ক অ্যারাউন্ড দিস টাইম, সামার টাইমে, আশিদ আলী লন্ডন এন্টারপ্রাইজ একাডেমির আমাদের কমিটির পরিচিত মুখ, একজন শিক্ষক, একজন প্রিন্সিপাল একটি স্কুলের, তিনি আমাদের সাথে যোগাযোগ করলেন, এবং যোগাযোগ করে বললেন যে দেয়ার ইজ এন ইন্টারেস্টিং গাই, বিকজ হি ইজ ফ্রম ওল্ডাম, অ্যান্ড হি সেড দ্যাট ইজ এন ইন্টারেস্টিং গাই ফ্রম ওল্ডাম, হি ক্লাইম্বস, he did this, he did that, he went to Mount Kilimanjaro, he went to other mountains and everything. If you guys are interested, you can talk to him. এবং আসলে এই যে পিক হিউম্যানিটির জার্নির বিগিনিংটা, দ্যাট ওয়াজ দ্য বিগিনিং ইন 2020। আমাদেরকে অনেকেই প্রশ্ন করেন যে কবে থেকে আসলে আমরা এই প্ল্যানটি করেছি, কিংবা কবে থেকে আমরা এ ধরনের উদ্যোগের সাথে সম্পর্কিত হয়েছে। আসলে দ্যাট ওয়াজ দ্য বিগিনিং। যে তিনি যখন আশিদ ভাই আমাদের সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করলেন এবং আকির রহমানের সাথে পরিচিত করিয়ে দিলেন অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ ইফ আকির রহমান climbed Mount Everest and made a history, they should be part of history as well. যে আশিদ আলী যিনি এই আকির রহমানের সাথে সংযোগ স্থাপন করতে আমাদেরকে সহযোগিতা করছেন এবং আশিদ আলী ভাই হি ইজ হিয়ার উইথ আস আশিদ আলী ভাই you've got time to ask question today to Akie Rahman.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Farhan bhai, first of all, thank you for the very kind words. And those of you who know me, when we see inspiring people like this, we want to promote them, we want to support them. And we can go around the world. It doesn't cost you that much money to go around the world. But to get a permit for Mount Everest was £32,000. And I've known Akie for a very, very long time. He grew up in my neighboring area, but we've never been friends. He's always said by Sab, and that's the respect we've had. Okay, but I thought the least I can do is give him a platform. And at the moment for British Bangladeshi community, he needed the UK support. And there was nothing better than Channel S to give him that platform. So one, we managed to get him to Channel S. Two, we managed to take Channel S into Oldham. And then I've also managed to take him to my school a number of times. He's going to go again. He's been to now Buckingham Palace to meet the next king last week. So these things will now come, okay? But somebody has to inspire the next generation. There are lots of challenges, lots of barriers, but we have to find solutions. People have been to moon and back. People are looking at Mars. They're looking at beyond. Okay, you know, Antarctica is not a big enough challenge for Akie Rahman. My question was going to be, where next?
What next?
But what I am looking at is if he can inspire thousands of young people, because normally an expedition like this is for the super rich of European American society who've got lots of money to go out there, waste that money that they've inherited from their parents, and come back and share the story with their relative neighbors. I'm grateful that you are able to share that story with us. I'm sure Channel S and the viewers are grateful that you're sharing that journey with us. There are lots of things you're not sharing with us, right? But it's, we slowly will get there. But the question is, what next for you, Akie Rahman?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ashid bhai. এবং যেটি বলেছেন যে what next? What's your next vision, ambition?
Next ambition. This is live, isn't it? So everybody's watching, aren't they? Including my wife.
Lots of mountains.
I think we have to create a new mountain now.
Well, look, let's be honest. When the mountain calls, I have to answer. And at this present moment in time, K2 is...
Between your wife and mountain, who will you listen to, like mountain or your wife?
I listen to my wife. But the mountain is a different calling, you see.
So basically you listen to both of them?
I listen to both, yeah. I listen to both. But she has priority, by the way.
Okay.
She has priority, so yeah, if you're watching, know that. But K2 is calling me. But I think, I don't think it's big enough. I need something bigger. I'm sure you're all aware of Nimsdai's 14 Peaks.
Yeah.
I want to do the 14 Peaks. I want to do the 14 Peaks. I want to climb. Somebody asked me, are you going to go back to Everest? Do you know what my answer was? I want to climb it 10 times at least. I just want to. I want to keep on climbing, and I love what I do. And at the same time, if I can help people, it's a bonus. It's not a bonus. The climbing has to become secondary, even though the passion is there. But the fact that I'm helping people, this is what's really pushing me. This is what's really. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you. Shokholer duai. Obviously, Allah hukum ya ase. Ultimately, Allah hukum takhtu ba shokhtar maze. But Shokholer duai, it got me through. This is why this is my first 8,000 meter mountain, and it's not my summit, it's everybody's summit. Every single person that, supported me, dropped me a message. You don't have to donate to give me support. You can just, give me a like or say something, nice or encouraging. That's it. So, you guys need to
I'll come to that nice things, I mean, obviously, when you started the campaign, the first barrier was, making people believing in the whole concept. And we often felt struggle to understand, explaining the whole thing. Obviously, we were not sure what we are doing, but at the same time, it was a double trouble explaining things and explaining the whole project to people. But I'll come to that. আমাদের অনেক অতিথি আছেন এবং তাদের সবার কাছ থেকে আমরা শোনার চেষ্টা করব. We have Jamal Ahmed. He is a a long-term RFC supporter. He also raised funds for many other RFC projects, but this year it was unique, and he supported us as well. Jamal, your question, very briefly, please.
Yeah, so one of the things I teach my mentees is it's always about having mind over matter. And to achieve an amazing feat like this, first of all, we praise Allah, alhamdulillah, for giving you the ability to do it. But what from your past or your childhood has led you to have the conviction that when you set your mind to something, you'll be determined to do it? Because there's so many people in our community, there's so many youngsters in our community who need that grit, that determination that say, if I set my mind to doing something, I can achieve it. So I'd like you to share some words of inspiration or maybe share a personal story that can inspire the youngsters in our community, not even just youngsters, it can inspire everyone in our community who's looking forward to achieving a goal, that they can actually achieve it.
Thank you so much. Inspiring words from Akke Rahman. Akke will tell you in a minute. But tar age, amra Shipu bhai, thank you so much for your presence, your support, and your journey. যারা শিপু ভাইকে গত 2-3 মাস যারা দেখেছেন ব্যক্তিগতভাবে, তিনি ব্যক্তিগতভাবে অসুস্থ, কয়েকটা মেজর মেডিকেল সিচুয়েশনের মধ্যে দিয়ে তাকে যেতে হয়েছে, তাকে বিদেশে যেতে হয়েছে, বাট ফর দিস ক্যাম্পেইন ইউ লেফট এভরিথিং and you didn't give a single day miss. যে এই ক্যাম্পেইনের কারণে আপনি বিভিন্ন জায়গায় গিয়েছেন, ইনিশিয়েটিভ নিয়েছেন। RFC Day, it was your idea, your concept, your initiative, and we traveled many places for this project, of course, and thank you for that. Before you go, আপনি আমাদের দর্শকদের উদ্দেশ্যে, আগের উদ্দেশ্যে আপনি কিছু বলবেন?
Yeah, thank you, Farhan Bhai. Especially, I'd like to thank you, especially my friends, family who actually donated and supported me all the way. As I said at the beginning, I was very reluctant, but end of the day, Akke bhai proved us wrong again. And inshallah, we'll do it again. Just tell us when is the next Faglami. Because when I tried to raise fund, a lot of people said, Faglami bhai thalo yaiso. Because people did not believe this concept. Because it's amio mountain e ba saya duibar ar saisi. Honestly, because so this is it, brother. But you've done something very unprecedented.
Thank you.
We are so proud about you. And, let's join the next Faglami.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
আমরা শিপু ভাই আপনারা বিদায় দিমু, তবে বিদায়ের আগে আমরা লগে জুমও জয়েন করছেন শরীফ ইসলামও আপনারা সবে চিনই শরীফ ইসলাম রে। শরীফ ইসলামের কাছে আমরা যাইমু এবং তাইনো আরএফসির বিগিনিং যে সময় আমরা আরএফসি অ্যাম্বাসেডার স্কিম যে সময় শুরু করছিলাম, হি ওয়াজ ওয়ান অফ আওয়ার অ্যাম্বাসেডার্স। তার প্রতিষ্ঠান যে একটা ব্যবসা প্রতিষ্ঠান আছে, একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট আছে ইন ইস্ট লন্ডন, উই অল নো হিজ নেম, দি নেম অফ দি রেস্টুরেন্ট। দে স্পন্সার্ড দিস ক্যাম্পেইন দিস ইয়ার। শরীফ ইসলাম, ওয়েলকাম টু দি শো। শরীফ ভাই, আপনি উনরানি? Okay, Sharif bhai, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, can you hear us?
Assalamu alaikum. Am I live?
You are live. You are live on Channel S.
Okay, that's good. Let me make my poll.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So you're very briefly, Akke Rahman is with us, and you can ask any question to Akke Rahman, and Akke Rahman will give you the answer.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Channels, for having me on the show. And just my question would be, well, before I ask my question, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on climbing the Mount Everest. First Bengali Muslim, it's something for us all to be proud of. So, I commend you, take my hats off to you for that. My question would be, such a climb, Mount Everest, as we know, is the highest peak, in the world. And to motivate you, and I think somebody probably touched up on this a little bit, but as a gym goer myself, and I'm also a personal trainer, so I do. At the moment, I'm just sitting with my gym bag, and I'm just waiting for a few clients to come. But seeing the people who come for training and just to get them motivated, it's a hard work itself. And a lot of people, they give up. When they see themselves going on a plateau sort of platform, then after a few weeks they kind of give up. What would you say, for the viewers who are watching, who want to do such a thing like yourself? What kind of inspirational words can you give them? And what would you say for them not to give up? And there will be a point in their training that, you know, they will feel like, that's it, I can't do anymore. For those people, what would you say?
Thank you. So both questions are similar. The inspiration that you actually acquired through that journey, and what inspired you to take that challenge. Before I go to you, to those answers, আমাদের সাথে নতুন একজন অতিথি যোগ দিয়েছেন। আমি আবারও তাকে পরিচয় করিয়ে দিব আমাদের অতিথিদের সাথে এবং আমাদের দর্শকদের সাথে। জনাব লুৎফুর রহমান, WPC ওয়ার্ক পারমিট ক্লাউডের CEO এবং RFC ambassador. Luthfur bhai, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Luthfur bhai, we were talking with Akke Rahman and our audience, lovely audience here, এবং at the same time আমরা আমাদের জুমের মাধ্যমে অনেক অতিথি যোগ দিয়েছেন, তাদের সবার সাথে কথা বলছিলাম। সো আপনি যখন এই পিক হিউম্যানিটি প্রজেক্টে যুক্ত হলেন, and when you heard that someone is going to Mount Everest, so আপনার ইনিশিয়াল রেসপন্সটা কেমন ছিল, ইনিশিয়াল থিঙ্কিংটা কী ছিল? আই জেনুইনলি ওয়ান্ট টু নো। যখন আমরা এক্সপ্লেন করলাম দিস ইজ সামথিং হ্যাপেনিং, দিস ইজ এ ক্যাম্পেইন দ্যাট we are supporting, so what was your first initial thought?
Actually, it's a disbelief, because when he called me and he said, look, we are doing something spectacular, it's in our community, someone is doing this, I could not believe myself, because this is like a story. When we were a child, we read a book, who went to first Mount Everest, Solomon Henry, which year, 1953. So these are the things we always portray, someone special, extraordinary people are going there. So when you say, it's my community, my Bangladeshi people, someone is trying to get there, I couldn't hold myself, and I said, okay, then I'll support it. And obviously you called me and you said, do this way. But as you know, I was committed with other things of my business, so I thought, okay, I'll do small version of whatever I can commit myself. And then I agreed. And obviously you done another program of charity program over there, and I saw my brother for the first time. And the way I hugged, and I said, no, I have to do something, whatever it is. This guy, he has to go there. And I saw his video there. He already passed like some 3-4 other mountains, and the picture and everything. And actually this picture I showed to my child, and they are so inspired. They said, what's going on? I said, look, he will go. And he was following. They are following. Although they are the next generation, obviously it's our generation, but still they are following. These things actually inspire. Lots of things we did, but this is the things inspiring. And in the program, when I saw him for the first time and the video, I couldn't hold myself. I said, no, I'll do it, the best one. I know I can manage, and I said, regardless of what happens, I'll support. And he did it, brother. He smashed it. And on the Eid day, when he sent the Eid message from the mount, oh my God, it was emotional. And I emotional. And I prayed for you everywhere I said, and children are aware about that, he'll do it, and you did it. I'm really thankful, and it's our community inspiration. And first British Bangladeshi Muslim, we can say this sort of things, and it will be in the history.
It is in the history. You are part of
the history.
You are also part of the history. You are also part of the history. আমি শরীফ ভাই, আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আপনি আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য, এবং আকি রহমান আপনার কোয়েশ্চেনের অ্যান্সার দেবে। বাট ওয়ান্স অ্যাগেন থ্যাঙ্কস টু ইউ, থ্যাঙ্কস টু ইউর কোম্পানি, your রেস্টুরেন্ট এবং আপনার অল কলিগসদেরকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আমাদেরকে এই পিক হিউম্যানিটি ক্যাম্পেইনের সমর্থন দেওয়ার জন্য। লুৎফুর ভাই, again, so you had obviously you chose to be part of it, and for the audience, যখন আমাদের যারা স্টুডিওতে আছেন এবং আমাদের যারা অডিয়েন্স আছেন, অবভিয়াসলি আমরা যখন চ্যানেলের থেকে কোনো ইনিশিয়েটিভ নিই, আমাদের যারা সাপোর্টার আছেন, আমাদের যারা সমর্থক, লং টার্ম সমর্থক আছেন, তারা অনেক সময় শুধুমাত্র আমাদের চ্যানেলসে একটা প্রজেক্টে থাকার জন্য, অনেকেই শুধুমাত্র সমর্থনের জন্য তারা অনেক ক্ষেত্রে স্পন্সরশিপ করে থাকেন, এবং অবভিয়াসলি সেখানে চ্যানেলসের পক্ষ থেকে ফুললি সাপোর্ট দেওয়া হয়। বাট এই ইনিশিয়েটিভটা একটা ইউনিকনেস ছিল যে WPC flag that went to the peak of Mount Everest, and this is not going to be possible probably, কারোর জন্য এটা সম্ভব হতো না in a lifetime. যখন আপনি দেখলেন যে আপনার ফ্ল্যাগ পৃথিবীর সবচেয়ে উঁচা জায়গায়, how was your feeling?
It's obviously it's a feeling that I anticipated. You know what? The day I promised him actually on the program, the following day was my birthday, and my office staff was said, you have to come to the office at least a day. I said, no, my children would not let me because they want so that I can't pick the phone up. But staff said, no, you have to come. Then I went there in my office, and everybody was there. And I mentioned one name, and I said, look, you people, on my birthday message, I said, look, you people made it happen. Because what happened, the business my staff is doing, they are generating money. But I promise somewhere, everywhere, because it's not my money, it's the business is generating, and I promised. And I told my team that, look, because of you, I promised yesterday. And because of you, you will see our flag will be raised over there. And all the staff were so excited. And I said, because of you people, you made it, and I promised. And inshallah, and I'll do this. And if you make this business this way, then I'll do this. And I'm really privileged that I took part. Last week, even 3 days ago, I went to Dubai, and there was a team, my staff over there, 4 or 5 new staff. And I said same thing. I said, do you know this? If you go to the site, you'll see our flag was in the Mount Everest and this sort of thing. They were so excited. I said, look, the way I did marketing in UK, obviously I'll do it in Dubai as well, and we'll be the leading, you'll see. And they were so excited. So this is the things, actually, the inspiration for everyone, for team member, and the team can be proud of. My staff can be proud of that this is the company. He's representing something which we can say to the people, to our client, to everyone. And this is the things, actually, one of the greatest things, because you do marketing, lots of other things to generate client, to generate your client, to maybe catering circle and other things. But here, you are not getting money, but you are getting satisfaction. The most important things is you are getting satisfaction. That and that's really thankful, and he did it. He did it.
So, আকির রহমান তো আপনার ফ্ল্যাগ নিয়ে গিয়েছে নাও হোয়াট অ্যাবাউট আকির রহমান যদি আপনাকে নিয়ে যেতে চায়
Yeah, I'll carry you.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
How many miles you do every day?
Sorry?
Run 20 miles, is it? Every day, you know?
20K. 15, 20K. Not every day, 5 or 6 days.
5 or 6 days.
Thank you so much. আমাদের সাথে আমাদের আরো অনেক অতিথি আছেন আয়েশা চৌধুরী একজন এন্টারপ্রেনার এবং একজন রাজনীতিবিদ আয়েশা চৌধুরী আপনার প্রশ্ন
Thank you so much, Farhan Bhai, for the opportunity. Channel S is the best for opportunities, I would say. Before I say congratulations, I would like to say a huge thank you by Akke for making us proud. I am really proud of you. Not only me, if I say I am, it would be a mistake. British Bangladeshis are proud of you. A huge well done to you for making us proud. I have been visiting school for many years as a school governor and a local councillor, which I am retired at the moment, by the way. I used to think that we have lack of a role model in our community, but I have started visiting schools for about 25 years ago, even before I was a councillor. But nowadays, wherever we go, we have role models in our community, in our society. But then, say for example, politicians and businessmen, we have got lots of business people around us. But what you have done is exceptional. And every young man and woman, and also it's really inspiring to listen to our sisters and the young girl, Sumaya. It's really nice and inspiring to listen to those people, and we can listen to them only because of you, because you have taken the initiative, you've been there. And I had few questions, including what is next, which has been already asked, but I would like to answer that. What is next should be the moon, is it? Or is it too easy to go to the moon?
That's too easy.
It's too easy, probably. That's right. For you, not for me. I'm quite lazy person. When my friends talk about walking, I go behind. But I want to ask you that what can you do to get the determination you have to all the young people out there? When we talk about national media, we do get lots of negative stories, British Bangladeshis, Muslims, and associated with lots of negative stories. We do have positive stories like yours. How do we make sure that every single young man and woman have this story, they are inspired, they are getting it to their friends? What can you do about that?
Thank you. Positive story. So we got 3 kind of similar questions. Well, the first 2 questions were on inspiring words, your motivation. And then obviously the third question Aisha Chaudhary asked on how do you get our positive stories out So what do you say to them?
Well, the last question I can answer straight away. Getting the story out through social media, on Channel S. that's your job, isn't it, Farhan Bhai? But yeah, I think the national media, mainstream media, everybody needs to be. If I was somebody different or my name was different, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TV.
You are allowed to say that.
But I think this story, the first of something, would have been everywhere. It would have been, on the national media and everything. I think I did get a bit of coverage, but I didn't get any TV coverage. But I don't need that. I've got Channel S. I'll be honest with you. So going back to Bai's question and
inspiration, yeah.
Inspiration. When I was a child, many moons ago, we didn't have YouTube. We used to have the normal terrestrial TV, and every so often we'd see a program about Everest. And like Baisa was saying, these people are extraordinary, and the trouble, the difficulties that they had, the storms, and everything that they fought, and the determination that they need, you could see it watching the films, watching the shows. You could actually see it, and that sort of was my inspiration, if I say. So this is at a very young age, by the way. And then obviously I went through the schools. I've always been athletics. I used to run 100 meters in 11.5 seconds when I was like 14 years old. I was triple jump champ of Greater Manchester. But then the middle segment of my life became very comfortable and cozy. I got married, I got a business, and everything was just normal. But then one day, I was working, and then one day I just thought, you know what, I'll work, and I'll make money. My family will be comfortable. I'll get a living. But then I just thought I need to do something different to inspire my children and the kids and my nephews and nieces. And I thought back to my childhood, and I thought, you know what, that's an extraordinary thing. Imagine I could do that.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you so much. So basically, from your childhood, you got the inspiration from your own experiences.
Yes, from my own experiences. And I would say to I don't think little children need to decide on what they want to do. When you're a little bit older, you should think and focus on what you really want to do. And if you really, really want something, no matter how hard it is, you will get it. I mean, the thing is, people get mixed up with what they want and what they desire, or, well, it's the same thing, but what they want and what... They're a bit confused about what they want. That's where...
Thank you. Thank you. I'll come to that, and there will be similar questions, and you can give those answers again. We have Dr. Chaudhry here. Dr. Chaudhry? Yes, your question.
Hi. Akke bhai, assalamu alaikum. We met a few weeks ago at Greater Manchester Oldham Street Party.
Yes.
So again, big congratulations, from the British Bengali community. I think what you've done, again, as our star here has said, it's going to go down in history. So one of the things I wanted to say from sort of people who have been born and brought up here. So myself, I went travelling through Central America, South America. I took a year off work, basically. And you end up spending money. You end up sort of forking out 50k. But then when I got back, irrespective of all the experiences I had, a lot of people were quick to say, well, with the 50 grand, you could have bought a house. You could have set your future up. And this is something that would have benefited you. So I think, obviously, one thing I can comment on is that we both have a similar mindset that, look, money is money, but experiences and memories are priceless. Now, for the generation to come who are striving and they've got money on the forefront of things, how can you share your perspective that actually going out and seeing the world, going out and exploring, making memories, something you can tell your grandchildren in the future and say, actually, it wasn't all about the money. There was so much more to life. And it's only when you go out and you see this, you realise, actually, there is so much more.
It wasn't about money. It was about making experiences. You can give that answer, but before I go to your answer, we have Maps Noor from Swansea. Maps Noor, again, he is one of our ambassadors, RFC ambassadors. Always supported RFC and Channel S's projects, whichever way he could. But this year, It was him actually took the challenge to raise funds. He invited us to Welsh এবং আমাদেরকে তিনি সেখানে একটি ইফতার পার্টিতে ইনভাইট করেছিলেন, সেখানেও তিনি ফান্ড রেজ করেছেন এবং আমাদের একজন আরএফসি অ্যাম্বাসেডার হিসেবে তিনি পুরো রোজা মাস কাজ করেছেন। ম্যাপস নূর, ওয়েলকাম টু দি শো। খুব সংক্ষেপে প্লিজ আস্ক ইউর কোয়েশ্চন অর গিভ আস এ কমেন্ট।
Assalamualaikum. I don't think I need to ask any question. I think Atik Bhai's had a lot of question in him. All I'm going to say is congratulations, welcome back. We've all prayed for you, so alhamdulillah, well done for your achievement, well done for your inspiration. Thank you very much for your kind messages when we were fundraising. That was very inspirational. All I can say is that keep on the good work and inspire us, inspire everyone. One thing that I've learned in the last couple of days is that you should live a full life. And the way you should live a full life is by helping others, and you've done that. Unfortunately, I've just recently lost my brother to the floods in Bangladesh. And again, if you can work and help in those things as well, which is coming, I'm sure everyone is. I'm trying to do a few things as well. And again, well done, and you make us proud. And from Wales, from everyone in Wales, from us, congratulations. And please do come this way. We'd love to host you in my house, or we'll go out somewhere. And that's it. That's my comment.
Thank you.
Again, fantastic job, and please.
Thank you. Thank you, Maps ভাই। লুৎফর ভাই, আমরা বিরতি যাওয়া রাখবো এবং once again thank you so much. আপনি all through আপনি আমরা support দিছেন wherever you were, you have been asking about his situation, you were concerned about his well-being, and most importantly আপনি যে একটা করছেন, it is also part of the history যে একটা বালা উদ্যোগ, someone needs to come forward and you become the first one to come forward. So thank you again. আপনি আমরা যাওয়ার আগে আমরা অডিয়েন্সের উদ্দেশ্যে আপনি কিছু কইবা 30 সেকেন্ডে।
না, অডিয়েন্সের উদ্দেশ্যে তো ওইটাই, he also said same one thing that is inspirational already, and always I said it's inspiration not to us, to the new generation that who are doing that, and the other brother said sometimes always not for money. As you said on your statement as well, that you earn a living and everything, and it's fine. But people everybody in our life, we strive to be high standard. But what high standard is like our personal life, for the family life. Mm-hmm. But to do other things on the charity works is something exceptional.
Thank you so much, লুৎফর ভাই। দর্শক, যাবো ছোট্ট একটি বিরতিতে এবং বিরতির পর আমাদের যারা অতিথি আছেন তাদের প্রশ্ন এবং আপনাদের প্রশ্ন নিয়ে আবার হাজির হবো। তখন আমাদের সাথে যোগ দেবেন চ্যানেলের ফাউন্ডার যারা মাই ফেরদৌস জলিল। আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, বিরতির পর সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি ক্লাইমেট লাইক আকি অনুষ্ঠানে। আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানে আমরা আকি রহমানকে নিয়ে এসেছি এবং কমিউনিটির কয়েকজন ব্যক্তিত্বদের নিয়ে এসেছি যারা প্রশ্ন করছেন আকি রহমানের যে বিশাল একটি অ্যাচিভমেন্ট, প্রথম ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি হিসেবে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট জয় করা, প্রথম ব্রিটিশ মুসলিম হিসেবে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট জয় করার প্রেক্ষাপট। আমাদের সাথে এই মুহূর্তে যোগ দিয়েছেন চ্যানেলের ফাউন্ডার জনাব মাই ফেরদৌস জলিল। জলিল ভাই, ওয়েলকাম টু দি শো।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম। আমি আপনার ফয়লা যে কোয়েশ্চনটা করব, কোনো একটা প্রোগ্রামও আপনি কইছেন, একটা লাইভ প্রোগ্রামও, যে সময় প্যান্ডামিক আসিল, আমরা আরএফসি লাগে ক্যাম্পেইন করছি, দবির চাচা ওয়াজ দেয়ার অ্যান্ড ইউ আর ওয়ারিড যে হোয়াট নেক্সট। আপনি যখন আকির কথা শুনলা যে আকি ওয়াজ প্ল্যানিং টু ডু সামথিং লাইক দিস, আপনার ইনিশিয়াল থটটা কিতা আছিল?
Well, joyful, obviously joyful, because especially I'm a lover boy of Sylheti, I'm a proud Sylheti. So when I know he's from Jagannathpur and is a Sylheti British Bangladeshi, I thought he's going to make a history for us. And that history will remain on the books many years' time. People are not going to talk about me when might be 20 years, 10 years, they're gone. But Akke Rahman will be in the history and he will be remained live for many, many years to come. Might be thousands years, million years, I don't know. That will be in the history book. And that is our achievements. And my initial feeling was that we was part of it, and I'm grateful to Allah Ta'ala যে এরকম অপরচুনিটি আমরা then create করে দেন, and we made it, and it was very tough journey for him. আমি তো ডরাইছি তার পাওয়ার অবস্থা দেখে, আতর অবস্থা দেখে, 3 দিন মিসিং, I thought, God, I don't know.
3 দিন মিসিং for many times.
And আমরা তো মনে করলাম আল্লাহই জানেন কি তার অবস্থা, is he still alive or is he dead? But hey, we are here celebrating. That's the best thing.
Alhamdulillah. এগেন এই ধরনের একটা জার্নি করতে হইলে যে আমরা কমিউনিটির যে একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ আমরা ফেস করি আমরা কমিউনিটির মাঝে আই থিঙ্ক ইটস উইথ এনি আদার কমিউনিটি সাপোর্ট ব্যাকিং ফিনান্সিয়াল সাপোর্ট এই ধরনের একটা জার্নি যে এক্সপেন্স বের করা টেল আস মোর অ্যাবাউট ইট আমরা যে সময় আমরা প্রজেক্টটা সাজাইলাম উই নিউ দ্যাট probably Channel S would need to fund it.
We did, but then I think then a lot of businessmen came forward, such as Barrister Luthur Bai contributed 10 grand.
15 grand.
15 grand. Aklu Bai came, he donated money towards it. There is no gain for his business. There are many businessmen like this came forward. I don't know how much funding was, about 30, no?
The spending is more than that.
Okay.
It's more than that.
So whatever it is, but I think 26,000.
We've raised 26,000.
The rest we will pay.
Yeah.
But hey, he didn't charge us any money.
No.
It's a history, and we should be proud and celebrating. And I'm sure someone who says that dua karo kahe. So isalamot mote tar bou bachchar geche community geche return ai to Allah geche ar kichu kora lagto na. So it's commercially I think it's part of the community. Everybody helped. Initially shop project আমরা ফান্ড করতে হয় বাদে তো কমিউনিটির মানুষ আমরা দিলেন সো ইটস নট দ্যাট আমরা সকলে একলগে কাম করি and that is the result of this but he has achieved something that আমি মনে করি not only his family and friends should be proud the whole community Sylheti, non-Sylheti, whoever it is, whole Bangladeshi should be proud of it and whole British society and I think he's been invited to number 10 recently and many more to come.
He met Buckingham Palace, Prince Charles.
Prince Charles. So
and number 10 is coming.
Number 10 coming. So I think that needs to be recognised. That needs to be recognised in a bigger scale, you know. And I think he should be recognised by the Queen soon. Might be next 6 months. I don't know. You are working on it, no?
We'll talk about it.
Inshallah. So you know, we got the British Awabi. I wanted him to get a sir, and I think. You know, because of institutionally, we always get 2 degrees down. So let's work on it. But I am very pleased and I'm humble that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amra shobre ability disoin. যে আমরা বাপ দাদার ইজ্জত দূরিয়ে রাখতাম আমরা এই কমিউনিটিতে আমরা দূরিয়ে রাখতাম and this is an example on my right you know that not everybody need to become a businessman you know people need to go to every sector and he's proven it you know and that's where we are.
Thank you so much. আমরা অনেক অতিথি আছেন কাউন্সিলর সাইদা চৌধুরী I have to be আমার এটা অভ্যাস হওয়া লাগবে আপনারা কাউন্সিলর হইতে হইলে আগে তো খালি সাইদাফা করতাম so you are now a councillor Saida Chaudhary. Councillor Saida Chaudhary, your question or your comment?
I mean, to start with, thank you very much for inviting me, and I feel absolutely privileged to be here with Akke and Rahman because I was asking, is he really here? Because I thought, you know, he's
He'll probably... be on Zoom.
I tried to escape because it was a problem. I really wanted to meet him. So when I realized he's going to be actually here, so no Zoom, no. I mean, so, well, I mean, I'm one of the last person to ask a question. So there were so many questions that have been answered or been taken. So I will say, first of all, congratulations. You have made us so proud. The whole Bangladeshi community will look up to you and they will, I mean, hats off to you from me. And, you know, I don't have any words to describe how I really feel about it. It's just amazing achievement for the whole Bangladeshi community, Muslim community. So just 2 things. I mean, I don't know about the cost bearing. So if somebody decides to, because if people are listening today, they're watching, young person or someone your age decides to do that, what sort of cost there is? And about the fitness, like what sort of, do you have to go through any test to be a fit person to do this? Like, how do you qualify?
Basically, you're talking about the process.
How do you qualify? And also, would you ever think about doing an academy to teach people the climbing, or like young people, encourage more young people to take up or take on your hobby as a challenges? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a very important question. The process of getting the permission from the Tourism Board of Nepal to get there. So I will ask that question to Akke Rahman and he will answer. Aklu Bhai, you have been a supporter of RFC and Peak Humanity campaign. Please tell us your comment to question.
Actually, I have heard a lot of questions, and most of them is answered. I just want to congratulate the brother here. I think he's done a fantastic job, and we're all so proud of him. Keep it up, brother. And I don't have much of a question. The only question I want to ask him is, what next? What are you going to do next and show us and make it more inspired? That's the only question I want to ask you. And good luck in the future.
So I'll ask you a counter question. Okay. Whatever step he takes next, will you be supporting him?
Of course I'll be supporting him. Of course I will. I want the whole community to support him as well. Inshallah, we will all support him. He's done something great.
And I know you will. I know we will. Aklu bhai doesn't need any introduction. He's a successful entrepreneur. এবং অনেকগুলি ব্যবসা প্রতিষ্ঠানে সাকসেসফুল ব্যবসা প্রতিষ্ঠানে তিনি মালিক মাছবাজার আকলু প্লাজা সহ অনেকগুলি ব্যবসা প্রতিষ্ঠানের মালিক and has been supporting RFC and Peak Humanity Project from the beginning. আমাদের সাথে আরো অনেক অতিথি আছেন আমাদের সাথে আছেন জনাব আব্দুল শহীদ your question আব্দুল শহীদ ভাই এবং his son they have been also supporting RFC for many years. His son Ryan was our friend of RFC. Shahid bhai, your comment or question?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to commend you for your outstanding achievement. There isn't words to explain anything more than that. If there was, I would, right? And I would like to say that you have been an inspiration, not just to me, but the whole community. And due to work like this has integrated societies and bringing the young, the family, everybody together. As our community thrive in the UK, we are British Bangladeshis. We want to continue to thrive. And alhamdulillah, seeing my young children getting involved. I mean, for Peak Humanity, he's raised nearly £4,500, including a gift aid, right? And his target was only 2,600. So this is due to Channel S.
Initially, it was only 1,000. And
that was last year.
Yeah.
Last year he surpassed it by nearly double that.
Yes.
Right? But this year it was 2,300. Yeah, because he was a friend of Champion. But anyway, so having these projects is not only letting you do what you want to do, it's helping other people and encouraging them to get involved. And we need to get involved because this is the way forward, it's our future, and we need to make our own stand.
Thank you.
And the closest I've got to climbing Mount Everest, my motto, is, look, you can climb Mount Everest, you can fall, but then you keep on trying and you'll climb again. This is a business motto. But thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you. I don't have a question for you, but my son will join in the Zoom meeting to ask your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shukur bhai, thank you so much for coming, first of all. Yes, Shukur bhai, again, is a community activist, a politician, and an entrepreneur. Shukur bhai, your comment or question?
I've got not a lot to say. I always believe in a couple of things. There are two kinds of human beings. The ones that live life and the ones that scratch the surface of life. Scratching the surface are the people that kick that barrier down and move it to the next level. You are one of those people, and congratulations and thank you for it. We need people that inspire our next generation into coming into every walk of life, not only politics, not only business, but every walk of life, because we are a group of people who have traveled around the world to look at where we make home, and will also to join in those societies and do things no other persons have done. And that is your mark. You will always be remembered as a surface scratcher. But the surface scratchers are the people that are remembered in history. And congratulations. Thank you. There is only one thing I want to ask you, is that anybody that has ever climbed a mountain comes back and says, it's awesome. It's given me that clarity and mental fulfillment, but it's also brought me closer to God. How close were you when you were up there?
How close were you? Okay. Thank you so much. That's a very interesting question. Javed Hussain, again, he was also supporting RFC. Javed bhai, your question or comment in 30 seconds, please. Javed Hussain, can you pass the mic to him, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Farhan bhai. As you said, like 30 seconds, there is no question. But what I will do, I met him about twice, Akir Rahman. This is the third time I was just meeting him. And, that first day when I met him, I was not so serious. On the 8th day, I was just so, thinking, something else, and my family was asking me what happened. I was just thinking, the guy, he's going to climb all the mountains up, and it's really high. My daughter was asking me how high he is. I said, I'm going to show you how high he is. On 8 days, she was just climbing a small tree. She said, Daddy, am I climbing on that same way the guy going to climb up?
Yes.
I said, no. It's taller than that, much taller than that. So like that way, the children are inspiring when they saw you climbing up to the Everest mountain. Congratulations to you.
Inspiring the young generation.
Right.
We have Mohit Chaudhary here. Mohit bhai, আপনার কোনো comment থাকলে কইবা in 30 seconds, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I'm very grateful যে আজকে আমার এখানে দাওয়াত দেওয়া হয়েছে. Thanks to Channel S. Thanks to Channel S, thanks to Farhan bhai, Mahi, Firuz bhai, and Akibর সাথে আমার দেখা হয়েছে প্রথম যখন প্রোগ্রাম হয়েছিল তখন আমি এবং আমার রুহি ভাই আমরা ছিলাম উমরাতে ছিলাম রমজানে আমরা ওইখানে দোয়া করেছি এবং তার আমি 2 বার মেসেজ দিয়েছি হি আনসার মাই মেসেজ ব্যাক অ্যাজ ওয়েল আই সে যখন উপরে উঠে কই আল্লাহু আকবার যখন লম্বা কই সুবহানাল্লাহ আল্লাহ উইল সেভ ইউ এন্ড প্রোটেক্ট ইউ উই মেড অল দ্য দোয়া ফর হিম ইন দ্য উমরা অ্যাজ ওয়েল আই এম ভেরি গ্রেটফুল we see him back and one thing I'm telling you done in Mount Everest now a big job for you with my Firuz bhai and with us we have to help in Sunamganj and Sylheti people in this big times people one life if you save Allah will give you reward you save
inshallah thank you so much Mohit bhai we have another young gentleman Abdullah Mahmood CEO of Next Stage Events obviously you have been listening from Akke Rahman your question or your comment
we are really proud of you you have done something no one have done before like প্রথম বাংলাদেশি ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি এবং প্রথম মুসলিম হিসাবে এভারেস্ট উপরে যাওয়াটা অনেক আমি মনে করি যে অনেক বড় একটা অ্যাচিভমেন্ট সবাই করতে পারবে না এটা সো বিগ কংগ্রাচুলেশন টু ইউ আর আমার একটাই কোশ্চেন যে মাউন্ট এভারেস্টে যখন আপনি ক্লাইম্ব করছিলেন সবচেয়ে এক্সাইটিং মোমেন্টটা কি ছিল
okay so couple of questions one question Shukur bhai asked how close were you with God because you have been campaigning that faith inspired your campaign খুব সংক্ষেপে কইবাই তুমি
God is everywhere. You don't have to be on top of a mountain to be close to him. I've been close for a long time and climbing has got me closer to Allah. I mean certain things, certain dreams and everything, it just told me that this is the right path for me to go on. And I can't deny that. And yeah, it just makes me appreciate life more. And when I'm in trouble, I wasn't in trouble on Mount Everest at all, but when I was in trouble on all the mountains, I prayed to Allah and I just raised my hand and I said, Allah, please help me, get me out of this situation. I was on, like storms, the mountains. Allah answered my prayers there and then.
Last question Dr. Chaudhary asked, which is very interesting question, that it's not money, it's the experience. And he also traveled the world. And what do you say to the people who actually probably stuck somewhere and not going out and having the experiences?
The thing is, money will always come and go. Money is just a temporary thing, but memories last a lifetime. I'm sure you've heard that saying. I believe in that saying as well, so it's as simple as that, bhai.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for Akke Rahman once again.
What's next?
He answered that question. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence and questions and comments. Akke Rahman already said his next mission, next vision. And inshallah, with your support, he will complete those mission and vision. এবং আবারও আমরা কমিটির সবাইকে সমর্থন নিয়ে আমরা আকি রহমানের জন্য কাজ করব জলিল ভাই 30 সেকেন্ড আছে বিফোর উই গো নেক্সট মিশন ভিশন নিয়ে আমরা প্রচুর মাত্রাম বাট ইয়াং জেনারেশন যদি এলাকান ইন্সপায়ার হইতে হয় অ্যাজ কমিউনিটি আমরা দায়িত্ব কিতা
Well, we need to bring a generational change. I'm inspired. I'm trying to right foot the here. At the same time, we need to work together to rebuild our broken society and many things broken in our society. And people like them, they need to train more and inspired more, because example, it's like, it's very very important that our children's done very good. They're still doing very good. We are starting from this science to the Mars to everywhere. We Bengalis, and especially the British Bangladeshis, are doctors everywhere else. And academically, I think we just need to continue to do our good work and show others that we can do it.
Akke Rahman, before we go, your feedback to your audience, your comments to your audience. Jara support this amra campaign, jara dua korsoin, and jara inshallah future any initiative or support for them in 30 seconds.
Well, no, I think I only a bit longer. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Channel S. I'm actually from a working class background. I would never ever in my life dream that I would go to Mount Everest. This is why it's been on hold, from a young age. So, my father was, working all his life, and my mum even, when I was a kid, my mum used to sew and get me clothes. So I'm ever so grateful for my mum for raising me in such a good way, and so generously, from what we had. So I would have never dreamed. So I want to thank you, Farhan Bhai, for believing in believing in me, and everyone at Channel S for supporting me, not just mentally but physically. I mean, financially as well. I want to thank every one of you here and everyone that's watching for supporting me and having my back. All your du'as and everything got me through. It was tough, but alhamdulillah, it was Allah's will, and du'as mattered a lot, and the du'as helped me.
Thank you so much. দর্শক মণ্ডলী সবাইকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ যারা এই অনুষ্ঠান দেখেছেন। আকি রহমানের সাথে কাজ করার সুযোগে যে সৌভাগ্যটি আমাদের সবার, বিশেষ করে চ্যানেলসের সবার হয়েছে, এবং একটি লেসনও আমাদের হয়েছে। যখন কেউ কোনো উদ্যোগ নিয়ে আসে, এই ধরনের চ্যালেঞ্জিং কোনো উদ্যোগ নিয়ে আসে, অফকোর্স আমাদের সবারই ডিউ ডিলিজেন্স করতে হয় এবং আমরা সেটি করেছি। বাট নেভার এভার, উই শুড নট এভার ডাউট এনিওয়ানস এবিলিটি। কেউ যদি চ্যালেঞ্জ নেয় এবং এই চ্যালেঞ্জে তাকে যদি আমরা ডাউট তো করাই যাবে না, এবং যদি সাধ্যমতো যদি আমরা সমর্থন করতে পারি, এটি আমাদের সবার কর্তব্য হওয়া উচিত। নট ডাউটিং এনিওয়ান অ্যান্ড স্টপিং এনিওয়ান সামওয়ান ফ্রম অ্যাচিভিং হোয়াট হি ওয়ান্টস টু অ্যাচিভ। তো আমরা আশা করব আকি রহমান একটি মাইলস্টোন অ্যাচিভ করেছেন, এবং এর মাধ্যমে আমাদের কমিটিকে সবাইকে একটি বার্তা দিয়েছেন, নাথিং ইজ ইম্পসিবল। এবং সবাইকে আমরা যদি একে অপরকে সহযোগিতা করি, যে কোনো আনস্টপেবল, যে কোনো আনঅ্যাচিভেবল জিনিসও অ্যাচিভ করা যাবে, এবং আমাদেরকে কেউ স্টপ রাখতে পারবে না। অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ যারা এই অনুষ্ঠান দেখেছেন। দেখা হবে আগামী অনুষ্ঠান। সবাই ভালো থাকবেন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।